I'll give you the injury updates here. These players will not practice. Sid, Max, Alec, Khalil. Khalil's high ankle. He'll be week to week. Cole Bishop, Curtis Samuel, Dorian Williams, Caden Prather, Shaq Thompson, hamstring. Taylor Rapp, knee. Tyler Bass still dealing with the pelvis area. TB, Spencer Brown. Those two will be limited. They'll be individual only. Josh Palmer dealing with a groin, and then Reggie Gilliam the same. Great to be back. It was a great night in Buffalo. Great to see our fans down there and be back in the environment of our stadium. I thought we got a lot out of it. Learned a lot about where we're at and the work that we need to get done this week. So important week for us as we move forward into the first preseason game.
How concerning, Sean, is the ball? I mean, all of them, but Khalil seems a bit more serious than high ankle.
You're right. He's dealt with one before. He's extremely tough. Big part of our offense. So it's going to take some time. High ankles normally do. It's an opportunity for, again, somebody else to show us what they've got, and we'll see how that goes.
What's your level of concern when it comes to, I mean, you were kind of banged, you had guys on PUP and all these lists to start camp,
Yep.
and the injury list has grown.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you try, and it's not good when you start with 4 guys not practicing. I think that's you don't want that going into camp. Usually one, maybe none, and I say usually one, usually none, occasionally one. So what we've tried to do is pull back on some things, and in the hopes of getting some numbers back. That hasn't helped, so we're moving forward. It's time for us to go, and we got to get some work done and move this team forward. So so the reps that we had cut last week. We're still only working with 2 groups. Last week we were down to a group and a half. It's not conducive, so we gotta do what we need to do to move our team forward and get them ready to perform.
Good.
Is that it?
What have you seen out of some receivers that have been taking on stuff like Tyrell Shavers, Christian Wilkerson? I know Shavers got back finally.
What have I seen from those 2 specifically?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 I think have done a really good job. Shaves has been with us, so we certainly know him a little bit more. Have had a broader sample with him. Wilkerson's I think done a nice job. He's played offense and played special teams as well, and has a history of doing that and doing it well. So been pleased with both of those guys.
I know it's early. You have only had a couple of pads practices, but has Jackson Hawes at least given you the indication that he's the badass that you saw as a blocker in college?
Yeah, he's done a real good job. He really has. In the absence of both Dawson and at times Dalton, he hasn't blinked in terms of it being too big for him. He's gone out and not only blocked well, but he's performed well overall. So he's off to a good start.
Sean, how have you seen a guy like Reggie Gilliam develop his approach to practice since his time here?
Well, I mean, let's not forget, I think Reggie was, one of those bubble players in his early years with us, and he's carved out a role, and he's carved out a role and a leadership role at that with our special teams units as well. So he's a valuable piece for us, and it's kind of like the hardest thing I think for Reggie or anyone in his position and offensively in his role there is we use him sometimes, we don't use him other times, and that's not a knock on Reggie. It's just how the game plan ebbs and flows week to week, and but Reggie's ready, and that's an important trait to have when when you're called on. He's been ready.
This is the first opportunity we've had to talk to you since Max Harrison went down. What is the fear as to start of the season, and is there a loose timeline that when he might be back going? He's on crutches.
It's going to take some time. He's week to week. This is probably going to take. I couldn't even tell you. It's similar to what Cole went through last year. Not the same injury, but maybe the similar window of time. And here's a young player that is not only missing just the moving around, but also the mental part of the experience you get with through the reps. And so there's no way to avoid it. He's going to be behind when he comes back.
Hey, Sean, has the first set of padded practices met the physicality that you wanted to see?
Yes and no. I would say in some ways yes, in other ways no. I do think that that's another element that we have to continue to establish while we're here, for sure. And then it's got to continue when we get back down to Buffalo. We'll get a chance, obviously with the first preseason game this week, to get another just barometer as to where we're at as a team and where that is.
Hey, Sean, one of those under the radar guys that we saw a little bit last year was Jalen Virgil, and with all these injuries, he's obviously gotten some chances, and he was active for a couple games last year. What have you seen from him, liked from him? Why is he still out there, kind of showing up?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was impressed with the way he handled his role last year, especially for not really being with us, the whole season. And he embraced it, took a lot of pride in it, took ownership of it. So now it's, hey, full playbook, full, role in terms of the dual role of offensively and special teams. When you're not in the top one or two, then you're called on to play special teams as well. So balancing that is always interesting to see how that unfolds and how a player can handle that. So I like Jalen, I really do. He loves football. He brings a lot of energy to our football team.
We've seen Keon make a lot of plays over the first week. From your perspective, you see so much more in the meeting rooms and everything else. What stood out to you about his camp so far?
Yeah, growth for sure. The day, I think it was the fringe, maybe we're working the fringe 35 and in or what have you, and he really showed up. And since then, he's been performing, I think, rather consistently every day. Had a few drops the other night that I know he wants back, and those are some of the things that he knows he's got to get him out of his game. And there's going to be drops. There are for everyone, right? Nobody's perfect, but what I've been mostly impressed with is his consistency on the contested balls. And then he went in there in the red zone the other day. We're working the low red zone, and he laid a heck of a block on somebody in there, and I thought that was very impressive as well.
Hey, Sean, without having Cedric Van Granger throughout the entirety of camp so far, and then Anderson suffering the injury, where do things sit with backup center right now?
A little bit in flux. Kendrick's been in there. Jacob's been in there. So, and they've done a good job. They really have. So it's a little bit of a fluid situation right now with that position. Beyond Connor for sure.
Are you anticipating Cedric getting back anytime soon here?
Right now, potentially Tampa. Maybe not. Maybe after Tampa. So it's we still got a window of time to get through there.
Sean, it sure looks like Matt Milano is really kind of going upwards. What have you seen from him this far in the camp?
Yeah, I mean, we rested him the other day, just trying to be smart with him, and he looks like he is, to your point, Josh, in a really good spot. He's playing fast. He looks comfortable out there. I think the biggest thing for him, and I don't want to speak for him, but it is important that he gets next to TB as much as possible, right? And that's some of the things that, as someone was asking about the injuries, that you lose when you're not working alongside of someone, getting reps, talking about a play after the play unfolds and saying, hey, how did you see that? Oh, yeah, this is what I was thinking. Oh, I thought you were thinking that, too. So that's valuable for us and for Matt in this case.
Josh didn't take any 11 out of 11 Friday night. Was that just to lay off him a little bit, give Mike and Mitch some more?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 4 quarterbacks in camp, a little bit unique in that regard, and just trying to take a look at these quarterbacks, Mitch, Mike, and Shane, and give them the respect that they so have earned, and what they look like, how they perform, how they lead our football team under those conditions, and we'll see how it goes into the preseason as well.
What did you think about Mike? I know we've seen Mitch before, but specifically Mike, where he's come along after signing middle last year, I guess.
Yeah, he's been a great addition. Been great to get to know him and his family a little bit as well. True class all the way, and when you're playing or performing or coaching against the guy, you don't always feel that way about him, about the opponent. But since meeting him, I've just been so impressed with him and how he's handled himself, how he's handled this situation last year in particular, and he has ability, and it'll be great to see him play even more this preseason.
You have 2 more plays. Do you anticipate Josh taking any snaps in the game on Saturday?
Yeah, we'll see. Still working through that. We'll see where that goes.
With Lloyd Ogunjobi, we asked you about the practice plan, but the preseason games. How do you plan on how much usage and balancing that with some of the younger guys you want to get reps?
Yeah, no, it's definitely on our radar. It's a conversation that's already been had to a certain extent. We're not ready to change anything right now. As we move forward, because of the timeline, we will make some adjustments. Just not ready to do that quite yet.
Sean, today is Mark Levy's 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Any thoughts towards him today and your relationship with him?
Ah, man, just he means the world to me. He means the world to a lot of people. What he's done, what he's accomplished in Buffalo, he's a true man, and I have a ton of respect for him and admiration for him as a coach, certainly, but also him as a person. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.